welcome to this week's Radio Hound Tube Radio Restorations. I thought I'd come to you from the corner of the deck this time just to change things up a little bit. I hope everybody's doing quite well. It's fun to get to know some of you guys and have a face to put to a name. But anyway, today we're going to be working on the Philco Model 70 cabinet. I got a lot of the sanding done. We're going to do just a little bit finish sanding, hardly any at all. I've been doing that on the side. I also sanded that little patch down on the face on the side because just in case that was catastrophic. I didn't want to tie up any more time with this cabinet on the sanding part. So anyway, I got the face as good as I'm going to get it. There's still issues with it. It's not great. It's definitely not going to be show quality, but we are going to call it on that. And I'm going to do just a little bit of light sanding there, and then we're going to be putting some kind of coating on that. So we are going to get a little bit into the coatings today. I'm going to, on the main body cabinet, I'm going to do all the dark brown, and then on the faceplate, I'll probably put that final finish as far as the stain on it. And we'll try to get that done today. I won't get done the stain on the main cabinet though today because we're doing all that other trimming colors. All right, I hope you enjoy today. It should be fun. We've been fighting a lot of storms, and believe it or not, I was out here on the deck. Our deck took a little bit of a beating, but I was able to repair everything and blew off one of our umbrellas too and knocked it over. It's got solar light on the top. Thank God it didn't break that. I hope everybody else fared well out there. Enjoy today's video. Well, on the side, I sanded this down. It's got a little bit of a buried up spot right here, but it's going to be underneath that knob. I'm not messing with that anymore. When I put this patch in, it came out real good, except for a piece of that white stuff that they put in there, like epoxy. So I'm not going to mess with this anymore. It's so thin. You can see how thin it is right here. It's already went through the veneer on it, but that's underneath where that trim is. So I'm just going to leave it go. I'm going to hit it real light sandpaper just to smooth it, and then we're going to put coating on this today. So I'm going to show you what I'm getting ready to do on that. Let me get my thing put on the tripod here, and then we'll go over that with you real quick. Seems like it never fails. Anytime I want to videotape something, somebody's running a mower or blower or something out there. All right, like I say, I'm not going to get too more deep in the weeds on this because it's just going to become a problem if I do. So I'm just going to lightly hit this, and there's just so much flaking off of this now, it's pitiful. I mean, the next step is just to take and re-veneer the whole top of this, which I really don't want to do. If this was for a person, for a showpiece or something, I would. But I really don't want to. I don't want to do that on this one. Yeah, this veneer on the bottom is so paper thin, there's just pieces flaking off. And what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to tone it out. All right, all I'm doing now is cutting the bottom of this off. Making it flush to the edge. And then I'll take my sander and hit that bottom edge of that. Around these knobs, it was almost non-existent. It was almost gone. The only way to fix this is put all new veneer on. It's just not worth it on this. This radio is kind of not in the best shape in the world, and it's just not worth it. Spend that kind of money. All right, I'm gonna run the sander along this edge. I think we can hide most of that stuff. Yeah, see, all your veneers just totally coming off right there. Make sure you're in the shot here. You can just see it, it's just flaking off here at the bottom. All right, let's see what I can do. I use these artist brushes, and that'll help me to get some of that put on. Now I'm going to save this bigger round one. Well, they got me taped in here. Just trying to get these round ones out of here. What is that hanging on? Okay. I'm going to get this little square one for this side, and that's what I'm getting ready to show you here. You can do this however you want. This is just how I'm doing it. It's up to you. But what I do is what I'm going to be working on right here is I'm going to be doing the inside edge of this right here. I'm going to do it from the back. And that way I'm going to use this little flat brush here. And what I do is I just spray a little bit of this. I should have had all this prepped, and I didn't do a very good job at that either. But what I always do is just use a cap, and I spray a little bit right in the middle of that right there. And that way I've got me just a little bit of paint down in there to touch up with. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Yes, it does shoot paint back up on you. Now I've had a blower go on, I've had a mower go on, and now I got an airplane going over. Anybody else want to get in on this video? Crazy. What I don't want to do is run this stuff all the way in there, but what I'm going to do now is just hand paint. Just got to take your time and do a good job of it. What you don't want it to do is run down on the front there. You go in from the back, that way you don't grip any on the front. Make sure you're in the shot here. You do all the edge right there, and then as your paint gets a little thinner, then you can do up closer to the front there. And some of this stuff takes a minute. And while I'm doing this, just to talk to you guys for a little bit, I have every intention. I don't know how many of you guys follow me on Facebook, but the other thing that I've been thinking about is it takes quite a bit to run Facebook and YouTube. And the reason I kind of wanted to start the YouTube thing is so I could maybe move a lot of my stuff that's on Facebook over to YouTube. That way when I do an actual radio for somebody, it can be on the YouTube thing. And but since a lot of you guys watch me on both, I just wanted your opinion on how you feel about that, about me doing the customer radios on the YouTube channel. Would that bother you? Because some people don't like all the long videos and stuff like that, and they watch me on the Facebook so they can just see a quick photo album, maybe a little short video, but nothing major. And I think some people might like it better that way. But if you don't mind speaking out in the comments and maybe telling me what you like, I would appreciate that. and that way I can make a final decision which way I want to do this. But it'd make it a lot easier for me if I did it all on the one. And the other thing is make me mad about Facebook is uh, they're making it where you can't do anything. I can't put two videos together. I can't pick pictures and videos together. And you have to have everything in the other form where it's your video is vertical and not horizontal. I don't know, they just make it so difficult to put stuff up. Am I in the picture? I am. Okay. They make it so difficult to post stuff anymore that it's starting to make me mad. And that's the other reason I was thinking about moving off, is just because I can't do a good job for you as far as showing you, what I'm doing on your radio. But I also don't want to do something that's going to, offend people. And, I mean, I'm not afraid to offend people if I need to, but, in this case, this is just to make it a little bit where I can do better job and make it a little bit easier. So that's one thing I wanted to talk to everybody about. The other thing is, when I'm doing these videos, the way I'm doing it, it can turn out to be kind of lengthy, and it's part of it is because I only got a couple days a week to work on this, and with only a couple days a week to work on it, it kind of makes it a little bit difficult. I think I made that mention in one of my intros or something like that. That it ain't just something you can do like on these long boring things, just like this right here. Instead of sitting here watching me paint like this, put it on a time lapse. Well, problem is I can only get so much done in the time lapse. And a time lapse would get it done real quick, and then there would be nothing else to film on that day because it takes me, that whole time to be able to do that. And so I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, would it be better to have multiple radios going at once and then jump from one to the other a little bit to make it where you don't get bored with just one lengthy thing on the same radio like this cabinet work? I'm not the fastest cabinet guy in the world, so it's going to take a minute for me to get all these cabinet work done. And that being said, uh, do you get, I don't want to lose followers and people to watch because they're sick of watching the same thing over and over on a cabinet, because they're waiting for days for this cabinet work to get done. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm really trying to say here. I guess what I'm trying to say is, would it be better like one video to do it with one radio and then next video back to another radio and then jump back and forth between two or three radios and just alternate the videos around so you don't get bored with it, I guess. So maybe give me some comments on that too, of how you'd like to see that. I'm not saying I'll do it that way, I just want to hear the comments, and that way I know what the general thinking is. Uh, I mean, I'm fine with the way we're doing it. I'm okay with just taking my time, because if you got somebody just starting out, it's nice to just be able to sit right there with somebody and do it with them, everything. A lot of times I know a lot of these places, the people that are doing this, they gloss over that stuff too, and you don't do it enough to learn exactly, what you should and should not be doing. And all right, I'm done talking about that. Now, when I get ready to do the dark on the main cabinet, I'm gonna probably tick a few of the purist off, because on the and I don't even know, am I in the camera? I'm sitting here talking, I'll make sure I'm in the camera. But I'm gonna paint this same color inside the grooves of the little slots on the front. Now my other neighbor is now gonna mow. That's great. Or no. He's on a motorcycle. Wow. Like I said, this is the busiest little street ever. Anyway, I'm going to paint down in those grooves. As a matter of fact, after I get this little section right here done, I'm going to go grab the cabinet and show you what I'm getting ready to do there. What this will do when I stain this, it'll show that inside of it will be dark. Okay, so give me a minute here. Okay, make sure you're in the counter. All right, now on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint down in this little groove. And I'm going to use that round brush for this. Let me clean this brush off real quick. I'll go back to that other one here in just a minute, but I'm going to use this big round pointy brush to get down in there into that groove. And hopefully it'll catch the sides of it too, is what my thinking is. Try not to get any on the top. What that'll do when you put your stain on, it'll make it darker down in this slot. If for some reason I get a little bit on top here, I'll run the sander back over the top of this because this is solid wood here. There's my wife. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm gonna add a little more paint to this. And it's going to show a little bit up on the sides here. It's not a big deal because I'll take sander to that. You know, I do want to try to get some of that off though. Man, I really messed up that one. Hmm. And you see where I dripped paint on that. That was good, wasn't it? Just try to get the worst of it off because the rest of it I can sand off. What this is going to do is make those dark lines show out better. Okay, just across the top, I'm just rubbing that. That way it'll sand off better. Okay, I got that one done. And then this side done. like I say, this is not veneered, so it will, the top of that will sand right off. Okay, let me wipe these real quick. That way I don't have a big bunch of paint on top. A little bit on that piece right there needs more. We'll sand that off here in a minute. The next thing I want to do is just on this edge, I'm going to be doing dark around this edge right here. Are you in the picture? Yeah. Okay. Just on this edge, I'm going to stay below this line right here. Now this I'm going to be a little more careful with. You're thinking, man, that ain't going to look right. Well, you'll see in the end of it when you add the stain in, it'll look cool as heck. I've done this before, is the only reason I know. What this does is like frames that and highlights that, which makes it really cool. And it really doesn't take that long to do. Just noticed something here. I must be flipping up on top of that. Not to get any on that. Okay, I'm going to have to spray that thing off somewhere because it's just drying out faster than. I'll probably do the rest of this off camera. I just was showing you roughly how I'm going about it. This paint, this paint is drying out faster than I can get to it. As you can see, if you get anything on there, it's real easy to fix. Okay, so I think you're getting the idea though. I'm just doing this little banded edge around, and I'm going to do that banded edge on the inside too. And that'll like picture frame that. Which makes that look pretty cool. and it hides a lot of those imperfections around that outside edge. If I could see what I was doing, it'd even go faster. My eyes are really, really bad. Okay, and where my hand got a little unsteady right there, you just take your little bit of sandpaper right there and cut it right back off. A little bit right there. And then just touch up where the sandpaper boogered things up. And the stain will hide anything else that you missed. Okay. And I'll show you up here, like where I got that little bit on there. That'll come right off and it'll level all those lines out. It'll take all those lines out of there. Make everything look nice and straight. It's solid wood, that's not a veneer. Okay, so see that side's all done already. Okay, we're gonna let that ride for a minute. I'll show you how I'm gonna do this inside real quick though. Are you in the camera shot that you are? Okay. This inside is gonna go to right there. Big old jet going over. We don't live too far away from the airport here, so we get a lot of traffic. Really, these lines help you to keep in the lines because your brush goes up in that crack on the line, and so therefore it don't mess things up too bad. Oh no, I had paint on my hand and laid my hand on there. Now I don't want to get it on the front. Trying not to let that happen. Okay. Gotta not do that. you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. And the only other thing I'm going to do on this bottom, on the main cabinet, is I'm going to finish down on the inside of this and the inside around, all the way around, okay? But the only other thing I'm going to do on this cabinet is I'm going to tip this thing up. I'll show you one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to do all along the front edge of this. You kind of get the idea on that. Got a little bit on top here. And like I say, if you get a little bit on there, it's not a big deal. You can zip that right off. And it is pretty good to get that off there before that paint really cures on there good, though. Okay, let's get a little more paint. There's a little bit of filling I need to do on these corners over here. Which will not be hard. And then the inside, I'll clean that inside out, and we're going to use the same paint to paint there. You can tape this off and paint it that way with actual spray, but you can do a lot better job if you just hand do it and get better quality work out of it. So I'm just saying. Just a minute, I'll tip this up here and let you see that. It was just easier to do it laying down. Anything that's not exactly just right will be hidden by the stain that you put on. All right, I'm gonna tip this back up for you now. You can kind of get the gist of what's going on here. I'm end up doing the whole thing in front of you though. Um, I don't know why, but sometimes it's just easier in a shot. Yeah. All right, I'm just standing underneath that little line right there. If you haven't figured out by now, the other color that's going to be on here with the stain color is going to be a lighter brown. So it's going to make this pop. We get the lacquer finish over everything. It's really going to look good. Right there, I got into the tip of that. This is pretty much today's video, is getting all this dark on here, because we have to have that before we can actually get this thing stained out. You can just straight stain this whole thing, it'll be just fine too. And even the little slots that I painted dark down in those grooves, those will show a little bit darker just because they're down in those grooves. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. This is up to you. Now, I mean, I'm sure if you wanted to put it exactly like it was just, straight one color all the way through. I'm just trying to add a little pop to it. And if you don't like it when it's done, then you can always just strip it right back off and go again. Nothing tells you you can't. But I'd like to experiment with this stuff. I've already done one like this and it really looked good. So that's why I'm doing this again. Kind of just sharing with you what I did on that one. Okay, the inside that's done, the whole front of that's done. All I got left to do is this other side of this top. and then the um, two sides right here is what I'm trying to say. Hmm. Forgot to tell you guys about the type of paint I'm using. A 2x cover in Rust-Oleum. And this is called Espresso, and it's satin color. Said I was going to do this all off camera, didn't I? Oh well. Just realize it, it's not that big of a deal. This is all part of it. Make sure you're still in the picture. As long as you can drive straight, this thing works pretty good because it goes right up in that groove. And that kind of stops it from getting up on the other part as long as you can get your hands from being shaky. The reason I'm painting this outside rail is because it was so busted apart. Got a little bit there on there. It has cracks and stuff in it, and this just helps hide all that. Like I got a big split right there, and it's covering that up. Maybe a little touch up here and there, but other than that, it's getting there. It's almost done. Then I just got this side right here, and this other side the same place. And like I say, just touch up is just getting any of this little black. It's kind of speckling through here that didn't quite get coated. All right, let's get this rail here painted. Got a little bit up on the wall there. And that one little spot, I think I got that really good. I just got to tip this up now and get the side of it. Oh boy, I slipped and hit the cabinet. A little bit on the cabinet there. Going too fast. All right, we just gotta get this edge now. All right, one more edge and we got this whole part done. I am going to do that front plate off camera though. That takes a little longer. We'll get that off camera. You saw how I was doing it, so we just got to do that times about 3 or 4 on there, and then we'll have that one finished too. I want to show you one more thing on this video. This is another reason why I wanted to paint this bottom part, is I got to do a little work in there, and we just got a little bit on the cabinet there too. Got to slow down. This should be the last of this right now. I'll come out here later and get that other front plate done. Trying to use up what paint I got in the bucket here. Okay, now I'll show you real quick. You can get a pack of them brushes at Walmart. I paid $5.74 for that whole pack. And that can do quite a few radios. All right. The one thing I was going to show you, and I still got to do, oh boy, I got a little paint on the cabinet there too. I didn't see that. The good news is this cabinet veneer is really thick, so it's a lot thicker than the other part, except for toward the back. The back of it's a little thin. All right, so what I did there is I want to paint that because see the big gaps right here? There's a gap right there. I'm going to put a little bit of wood filler in there, and then I can paint it back and you'll never know I was there. So that's that. But this is how it's going to look, and this will be a lighter color and that'll be darker color. And once I get all the sanding done, even if it shows a little bit jaggedy in some places, when you put that stain on there, it kind of evens that all out. You can't tell the color difference is so minor that you can't even tell where you got a little crooked or something like that on it. And this line kind of helps keep your eye definitely straight. So once I just do a little bit of light sanding on this thing, that'll stain out beautifully. Then I'm going to do on the inside of the cabinet, I'm going to do cleaning. I'm going to clean this real good, and then I'm just going to, wherever I get cleaned, I'm going to use the same brown paint, and I'm just going to paint in there like that. But I'm going to do my cleaning first. And I'm also going to paint this. I'm going to kind of cover this up and paint around that. But I'm going to hand paint around that. All right. I hope that helps y'all. Hopefully this won't be a forever long video. If I want to add to it a little bit, if I get that front plate painted out and dried, I may go ahead and stain that on this video. We'll see. I'll make up my mind. But right now, just got to clean up a little bit. I'm going to go take a break. Thank you guys for watching. All right, I said I wasn't coming back, but I am. I'm going to film this little part here about putting this stain on the top of this. Let's just see what happens. This is golden oak, I believe. Nope, it's golden pecan. Sorry. I'm not too worried about the middle of this. I'm worried about down below, though. I had a feeling I couldn't get that white stuff to cover. I'll get me some dark to put on there. And I was wondering how well my patches would show up. I have to tone that a little bit too. The rest of it's staying out pretty good. I just gotta get this a little darker. It's kind of what I wanted to see is how well that was going to work. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of my black paint, or my brown paint, I mean, and I'm going to go ahead and darken this spot right here. And at least just make it look like it's a little blemish there. And then we'll let that tone in like that. I think that'll cover that. This stuff that's on there, wherever they use that epoxy, it looks like it's paintable but not stainable. I don't know why, but you see now the stain or the paint that I put down in there, you know, it just kind of blends in pretty good. But it highlights those outlines on it. And that's what I like. So I'm gonna try to get me a little darker stain here. While this is wet, I'm gonna try to mix these two together. Come up to stain my patches a little darker. But I am gonna wipe that other down because I want it to be a little lighter. So I'll try to take some of that off. Definitely can see the patches, man. They're showing up like crazy. Must have used the wrong veneer on that one. So I'm gonna let that dry on there a little bit, then come back at it. I'll let that paint dry on there a little bit too, that dark paint and them two spots that are showing through. I'd rather have a black spot there than a white one. We're just gonna have a little battle scar there on this radio. Ain't nothing I can do about it. All right, we'll let that dry, and then next time we'll come back at it. Next time we'll see what we can do about making that a little darker. Just need to tone that out. Anyway, you can see our patches really well. It's not the end of the world. All right, thank you guys for watching today. This is the final video of this video series on this, but I just wanted to show you what the toning did. See, when you put the black marks in there, it makes that pop really good. The biggest mess up I've made on there is I used the wrong veneer in these patches. It's the wrong type of wood, and I'll tone them in here a little bit, but it's two different kinds of wood, and it's definitely showing up. And you know, it's just something I might have to live with, but later on maybe I can re-veneer that face. The top's livable, but none of the veneer patches turned out good. But other than that, the rest of it's turned out real pretty. We get that lacquered up, that's going to be nice. Anyway, I got the the first coat on here, and then I'll do a little bit of tweaking and fix that. All right. Once again, thank you for watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. We accomplished pretty much everything we set out to do today. Next week we'll be working into finishing the staining on the main cabinet and just doing any final touches we needed to do. I had to do a little bit of wood filler in a couple of spots, but other than that, it's pretty good. And I hope you enjoyed watching that today. Hang with us on this. If you have any comments as far as things I need to correct on the channel, just as far as the flow of it, or maybe, how I'm doing the content. With the content, it's kind of like I would do a lot more time lapse, but I only have, like 1 day a weekend to work on this, and I do 3 videos in that 1 day. And it's hard to do time lapse when you're only getting just a little bit done anyway. If I did a time lapse, it'd have to be several weekends in a row, and then you'd be waiting on your videos. So this way, I just do a video of what I'm doing that day, and it helps the new guys anyway, because they're sitting right beside me, and they can just watch each step as we go through it. And yeah, it's redundant, but that's how you learn stuff, is just doing something over and over. And every time, every radio, you learn a little something different, a little something new, because none of them are exactly like each other. And so you learn a lot of concepts. So just stay with me. And for you guys that's been doing radios for a while, it might become a little boring for you, but I understand that, and I appreciate that. I don't know if you can hear that behind me, but we've got a mama bird. And that little green thing, let me see if I can get this in there. See that little green birdhouse back there? Well, anyway, Mama's mad at me because I'll show you on the next intro. I'll show you a little bit more of that birdhouse. But when I intro the 9S262, I'll show you a little bit more about her. All right, thank you. I just want to close out all my videos with this right here. This is my my motto, and it's going to be our channel motto from now on. It's sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. We don't ever want to lose. We want to learn from every mistake we made. I thank you guys for watching.